Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I am Pramod Kumar and this is a video series on Tailwind CSS in React. If you are a web developer looking to take your front-end skills to the next level, please watch all the videos on this topic. In this video series, let's dive deep into the world of Tailwind CSS, an incredibly powerful and efficient way to style your React applications. First things first, what is Tailwind CSS? Tailwind CSS is a utility first CSS framework that simplifies the process of designing and styling your web applications. It's a framework that provides a comprehensive set of pre designed utility classes which can be applied directly onto the HTML elements. These utility classes allow you to style and design your web applications with speed and flexibility, making it easier to create responsive, well designed interfaces. Stick around as we explore the power of Tailwind CSS in React. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest web application tips and tutorials. I have my React application with some HTML elements here. Let's try to configure Tailwind CSS and style these input elements or the HTML elements with the help of Tailwind CSS. To do that, I'll have to first install Tailwind CSS and Auto Prefixer packages. So Auto Prefixer is a post CSS package or post CSS plugin which helps in prefixing -webkit or -moz or any other prefix that are needed by the browser. -moz is needed by Mozilla browser for certain style attributes, and similarly -webkit is needed by Chrome for certain style attributes. So Auto Prefixer takes care of it. In order to configure the Tailwind CSS, the next main thing I'll have to do is to run the init of Tailwind CSS. With this, I'll have to pass -p so that it creates a post CSS config file. So once it is run, you can see that there are two files that got created. One is post CSS config and another one is Tailwind config. So post CSS config contains Tailwind CSS and auto prefixer as the plugins, and Tailwind config contains some parameters in it. You can actually give some themes if you want, like if you want to change certain definitions that are already part of Tailwind CSS, you can use themes. And if you want some plugins to be present in your application, you can add them here. For now, I am interested more on the content because content determines which files to be considered. And in this case, I want to consider all the files that are present as part of SRC and that are having either JS, JSX or TS, TSX. So once I have done this, the next main thing I can do is using or importing the Tailwind CSS properties. So that I can do by @tailwind tag. So I need base component and components and utilities from Tailwind CSS. As I had mentioned earlier, Tailwind CSS is a collection of large number of utility classes. With their help, let's style this UI. So first thing I want to style or I want to provide the style attribute is the width. So let me start with width here. So width style classes starts with W. That's the. I mean, there are many classes that are created or that are having the prefix of the first letter, like width has W, height has H, margin as M, and padding as P, like that. So I want to give a width of the complete viewport or the complete screen, so that I can do with the help of W screen. If you see here, you can see W screen has a width of 100 VW. VW represents viewport width. So that I can give so that it covers the complete screen. And let me give a width to my inner container as half of the width of the screen, so that I can give like this. You can have multiple different ways of giving the width. So you have 1 2 3 4, which actually starts giving the width in terms of relative EMs. And if you want to give some width values in percentage, you have fraction values like 1/2, 1 by 4, 1 by 3, etc., where it will be calculated with respect to the percentages. So 1 by 2 is actually 50 percentage. So let me give 1 by 2, and also let me for now give a background color of say white, and this is how my form looks now. So it is covering the half of this width of this viewport, and it is in color white. So the background color can be changed with bg, and if at all if you want to change the color of the text, that you can use text hyphen and give any color. So that I'll do it for the user registration form. But before that, so this container that I have in white color, let me give a shadow effect to this. So for that I can use a shadow, and there are multiple options here. SM represents small shadow, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, etc. So let me give a medium one just to make it look a little shadow effect, and then let me give a margin of some value. Yeah, so a small margin has got created here. So now margin has been applied for all the four sides. If at all if you want to a single side, you can prefix that particular side. Say for example, if you want only on the top, you can give T or B for bottom, L for left, and R for right. But if you want on axis level, that also you can give, like X represents the X axis, that is left and right, and Y represents Y axis, that is top and bottom. So for now, let me give M of 4, and that is how it looks. And if I say P of 4, then my contents are having a padding of 4 value, that is 1 rem here. So let me not give this M of 4, instead I'll give My of 4, which makes it move from the top level itself, and instead of instead of X value, I'll give Mx of auto, which makes it which provides it a margin so that it appears, or it moves to the center of my screen like this. The next thing that needs to be styled is the header. So I have a div here. Assume I want to give a color of this header to be of red. I can use text as my prefix, and then I can give my color, and that this red color has multiple variants, and I can give whatever that is needed. So for this example, I'll give text red of 600, and let me make the font bold here by giving font bold. So as I told before, these are easily understandable by the user on what action you are doing. The class names actually resembles the action. So I had to give the text color as red, so it started with text hyphen red 600, and similarly font I wanted to make it as bold, so font hyphen bold will do it. Similar to this, if I want to give a border, I can have a border tag which gives 1 pixel width. If you want more than 1 pixel, you can give 2, 3, 4, whatever is available. And let me give a color of border as border black, and this is how it looks. But assume I want only the border on the bottom, I can give border B, and here the color also border B black, and this is how it looks. So that's on the header. Now moving on to the input element, username. So here I have a username, and then I have an input. Let me give some classes to this. So the first main thing I am interested would be is giving a border to this. So let me give a border black to this, and this is how it looks. So let me give a margin on the y-axis with the help of my, and say my of 4. Yeah, this looks better. Now assume I want this label to be on top of the field. I can actually give, it can be achieved in many ways. One of the ways is making the label as block. So when I give it as block, the display will be turned as block here, and hence the label takes the complete width, and then the input element takes the next complete width. And I can make this width as full so that the input box will cover the complete space. This can also be achieved with the help of flex and flex columns. So let me show that as well. So I won't give anything on the label. On the main div, I will give flex, and the direction of it is flex column. So I can just directly say this, and no need to provide w full here, and you get the same result. The same thing, I can do it on my select box as well, which is below. But before that, let me give a padding of 1 so that the text looks better. Yeah, this looks better. But when I'm typing, you can see the outline of this box, or this input box, is actually bold. So that's because whenever there is a focus on the input element, there is a outline that gets added. If at all, if you want to remove that, that can also be done with the help of focus and outline none. So here focus is actually a pseudo uh, class or pseudo selector here. So which, whenever you have to give onto your element, you can give it with that name and colon, and then start your style class names. So now once I do that, there is no more focus, or that outline is not coming onto the element. I'll give the same style to my next select box as well. And let me make the flex, or the div also behave in the same way as the above username. And you see it appears like this. On the gender field, I'll add the same class. Uh, and then on the individual elements, I'll add the similar one, so that the male and female two elements on the gender will appear next to each other. For that, I can add just flex, and they'll appear next to each other. And there is I mean, they both are clubbed together. Let me give a gap of say some 4, which is equal to 1 rem, and it looks fine now. If at all, if you want to style some more, you can actually give some padding onto the male or female span, and also to the radio. I'll copy the same thing on the notify me field as well, uh, onto this element, and the first class name onto the main element, and it appears like this. You can provide a width and height on this radio buttons to make them bigger or smaller based on your need. So the last one that we need to style is the buttons. So for that, let me start by giving them as flex, and a gap of some 2 here, and then let me style the buttons here. So assuming the submit button should be a primary one, so I can give a background color of blue here. So this is how it looks. Okay, and a padding of say 2, and this looking good, and the text is not looking bright, so let me give text as white, and it is fine. And then if I need, I can actually give next style of rounded. If I want it to be a little rounded, I can give it, so a small curve has come onto the border. So the same class I'll copy for the cancel as well, just that I'll change the color from blue to red, and my submit and cancel buttons are like this. Now if I want these to be on the right side, I can actually do that with the help of justify end, and it moves to the end. If at all, if you want to give some hover effect, so as of now there is no hover effect here. For that, I can use the pseudo selector. As I mentioned in the focus, I will have to start with the pseudo element selector, and then give whatever the style I want. So here it was blue 700, I'll now make blue 500, and do the same thing on the cancel button as well, where I will say red 700 to red 500. And when I now see, I see a hover effect here, and that way I can style my button. With this styling, we come to the end of this video. We can create many more components and many more uh, custom elements that we use in our regular web development. We'll see them one by one in the next video. I hope this video was informative to you, and if at all, if you like this content, please do share, subscribe, and like this video. I'll meet you with my next video. Until then, bye.